Some of you guys have been asking about the Amish and music. I think it was Melissa and then Cal. There's been at least a couple requests for a video like this. So I'm going to tell you about a few different things here. Do the Amish use musical instruments, singing, and also do the Amish like popular music? So I'd say the main way the Amish enjoy music is through their own singing. And they sing in many different situations and circumstances. Of course, there's church singing where they sing from the Ausbund hymn book, which is basically the oldest hymn book in continuous use, and that's been used since the 1500s, actually. Those songs are sung a cappella, so there's no musical instrument to accompany them. It's just the Amish voices, as you can hear in this clip. So church singing is one thing, but the Amish sing in many other situations as well. For instance, they sing when they're working. They sing after breakfast, for example. With one of my Amish friends, a family, we typically sing a song from a hymn book. I get to pick a song often when I'm visiting there. So my favorite song is Camping in Canaan's Happy Land. They sing in other situations. Sometimes the families will gather together and sing together in the evening. And some of the Amish have really beautiful voices, and you'll notice that if you ever have a chance to attend or, be in the room when the Amish are having a singing, okay? There are youth singings, of course. Amish youth get together after church, and that's the way they spend a couple of hours together singing from hymn books. Depends on the group some, but they can, they sing English songs, they sing some German songs. The Amish will go and sing for older members of the community. Some Amish will sing for non-Amish. I think it was in the Bell Center community in Ohio. I have a friend that lives there who that group actually went to like a local non-Amish retirement home or nursing home or elder home for the elderly and sang for them. Amish will be singing while they're working. My friend's wife, she'll be singing while she's doing the dishes or cleaning up in the morning after breakfast. You'll just hear this beautiful singing come up from the kitchen. Some of the hymn books the Amish use, one popular one is called Heartland Hymns. This was compiled by a woman, Mrs. Melvin Lapp, and I'm not sure if she's Amish or Mennonite. I think she may be Amish. This was believed from the Lancaster County community. Lapp is a common name there. And this is over 500 hymns in English and German that they'll sing. Another book is called Inspirational Songs, very simple title. So do the Amish use musical instruments? Generally, no. However, I would also say yes, they do. What I mean is, you don't have, of course, in church, you don't have a band or any kind of musical instruments accompanying the singing from the Ausbund. And you don't have maybe the full range of musical instruments present among the Amish, but you will see certain musical instruments. One of my friends in Lancaster County plays the harmonica, plays it really well. He's actually called my family home in North Carolina, actually my parents' home, and left recordings of himself, playing the harmonica, which we still have on the home answering machine from 10 years ago. So the harmonica is one you'll see fairly commonly, and again, I should say, the standard disclaimer: Amish are different in different places. There's going to be different, practices, and some will maybe be more comfortable with certain instruments, and others will not. Right. In addition to the harmonica, you'll also see some Amish playing the guitar, and even some other instruments like the keyboard and the accordion. And you can find recordings online of Amish. It's usually Amish girls in these recordings playing those instruments and playing songs and singing. Now, those are probably non-church members. A lot of those happen to be from Ohio, at least the ones that I see online. Would that have been present in the Amish 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago? I would think probably not as much. My impression is things have gotten more maybe lenient or more progressive in some ways in certain communities as far as those other instruments. Musical instruments, if you go way back in Amish history, they were seen as kind of worldly, and you had groups of Amish or churches that would adopt musical instruments, and so the more plain or conservative Amish would kind of distinguish themselves from those groups by not permitting musical instruments. Now, will those Amish continue to play their musical instruments after joining the church? Well, if they did, they probably wouldn't be as public about it as these girls are in these examples. Or in some cases, they may need to, put the instruments away, get rid of them. But like the harmonica example I gave, that's, my Amish friend is a church member, and that's accepted, right? You can play the harmonica there in Lancaster County. Finally, what about popular music? Now, Amish do really like certain types of popular music, okay? And again, I'm generalizing here, right? Some maybe don't, but speaking broadly, music like country, folk, some rock, those are the types of songs that Amish enjoy. I think especially country would be the one. The opening clip of this video, that was two Amishmen on a train singing a 1960s country song. It looks like it was a hit at the time by a guy named Bill Anderson called Po Folks. Something about the themes and the music itself in country music, I think, resonates with a lot of Amish people. And you have a lot of kind of common working man's themes, some simple songs. You have a lot of, I think in country music, elements of faith, and you have, of course, gospel, folk, and those kind of other genres that blend into country a lot of the time. So I think that's probably part of the appeal. One of my friends in Pennsylvania, he took his future wife-to-be to a country concert when they were dating. And when Amish are in this sort of rumspringa period, when they're in this youth period, of course, they're going to have more access to music, and you will hear Amish buggies going down the roads in some communities, and thump of a bass speaker, and you'll hear music coming out of that buggy. And it's if you spend enough time, that's Amish youth being Amish youth. Amish often ride in vehicles to their workplace. They have drivers, the Amish taxis, and on the radio they're going to be often hearing music, and some of the Amish guys want to even listen to some music on the way. So they're going to enjoy music in the car on those trips as well. The Amish aren't going to have stereos at home. Some Amish men, maybe business people with smartphones, are going to be able to access music if they want to. Of course, that can be gray area in some places, and of course not permitted in others. Another favorite of the Amish is an artist named John Schmidt. He's a country and folk singer and musician, and John is a non-Amish person who's mastered the Pennsylvania Dutch language. And so he sings, a lot of his songs in English, but he also sings in Pennsylvania Dutch. And he's definitely a favorite among the Amish. So he's actually based in Ohio, in Holmes County, but he'll play concerts there. He'll go to other parts of the country. He'll go down to Florida and Pinecraft, and always draws a big crowd from among the Amish. A lot of his songs they're fun. There's a lot of humorous themes in some of them. There's a song called Amish Nicknames. Another fun one is about an Amish wedding.
There was an Amish wedding yesterday to our delight. Every Dutchman in the county was there with an appetite. We don't all get along so good, and yet we reunite whenever we're invited to a wedding. It was the bishop's daughter.
So I encourage you to have a listen to John's music. I'll put a link here in the description. So Amish, like the rest of us, they enjoy music. They make their own music primarily by singing, but you'll also find some use of instruments. So good questions. Thanks. If you have any other ones, guys, leave those in the comments. You might see those in a future video. And I try to answer your comments when I can, but I don't get around to all of them. And I certainly often don't answer them as thoroughly as I'd like to. Just not able to get to all of them. But if I hear enough about certain topics, that's a good reason to do a video on it. So like another one I'm going to be doing coming up soon is what's the difference between the Amish and the Mennonites. So because a lot of people have been asking about that. I'm making 2 videos per week, so hit the subscribe button to stay in the loop for those. And thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.